A man detectives are calling the sock bandit robs this gas station behind me. Coming up, you'll see the surveillance footage.
Witnesses say they tried to help, but there wasn't much they could do. A plane crash in Perry County killed at least one person tonight.
A new shopping center could be coming to the north side of Lexington. What we've learned about the proposed development.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. Tonight we are tracking the investigation into what caused a small plane to crash in Perry County. Police say at least one person was killed, and so far they're not releasing many details.
The plane went down about 7 o'clock tonight in the lower Lost Creek area, not far from the Breathitt County line. Right now, firefighters and police are still on that scene. Tanner Hesterberg has the breaking details.
Police and firefighters from several agencies are gathering as much information as they can about this deadly crash, and also taking precautions to make sure fuel spilled from the plane does not catch fire. Silas Miller lives nearby and rushed to the wreckage when he heard the plane go down.
Yes, I mean, it's spread out over probably 30 yards, just seats and metal.
Pieces of the aircraft are visible in trees and on the ground, but investigators are not sure if clipping a branch is what caused the plane to crash.
Right now we are waiting for NTSB and FAA to show up for the scene, and Kentucky State Police are going to secure the scene this evening. We do have one confirmed death at this time, but we are withholding any information and we'll release it as followed.
These three boys say they were playing outside when they saw the plane streak through the sky with smoke behind it.
It was a white plane with a black stripe down it. And I was just down there shooting ball, and Ace was shooting ball too. And it came through there and zigzagged, and it spinned in circles and hit that bank.
FAA investigators are expected to arrive here Friday morning. In Perry County, Tanner Hesterberg, WKYT.
And we'll continue to update that story on WKYT.com. Tonight, police hope that surveillance video will help them find a man they say robbed a Franklin County store, and the suspect's behavior was a little strange.
This is a picture of the man the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is looking for. Investigators say he grabbed money out of an open cash register, and they say they've given him an unusual name. Monique Blair has our top story at 11.
Detective Shane Weber with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office says last Friday this man walked into the five-star gas station on Versailles Road.
Some of the guys that took the report and have kind of nicknamed this guy the sock bandit.
That's because if you take a close look at his right hand, he's wearing a sock. And Detective Weber says it's likely to conceal any fingerprints for what he does next.
Waited in line, let a couple of people pass him in line, had a Mountain Dew in his hand.
Once the suspect gets up to the counter, he hands the clerk $2 to pay for his drink, and as the cashier opens the drawer, he reaches over and grabs several bills. Detective Weber says he's received many tips on the suspect's identity.
Most of them are being pretty consistent with the same person.
Now, although detectives say they have a good idea on who this sock bandit is, they say it'll be a lot easier if he turns himself in.
You've been ID'd, come in, turn yourself in, and man up to what you've done wrong.
Detective Weber says this robbery is unique not only because the suspect wears a sock on his hand, but because it appears he can't decide whether or not he wants to conceal his face.
Clearly this guy is on something. He was worried about his appearance in the beginning, but then in the end, clear shot, good video footage of his face.
Detective Weber notes the suspect did pay for his Mountain Dew prior to stealing from the register. In Franklin County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, detectives say if the robber is the man they think he is, he has a lengthy criminal record.
Family members of 3 people killed in a Nicholas County crash say a roadside memorial to them has been vandalized many times. Aaron Capps, Whitney Morris, and Kyla Hare died last July. Their families have been putting up crosses in their honor at the scene of that crash, but the crosses kept disappearing. So the families put up a camera nearby and caught a man removing the crosses from the ground. They tracked him down and they confronted him, but they're not sure if he's responsible for all the cases of vandalism.
And whether he was the unlucky one who got caught or not, to me, I blame him for all of them.
Really, we kind of assumed that it may have been someone of a younger community, definitely not someone
of his age.
He has called me since and apologized, and to the whole family. I just told him to show his face. If he really wanted to apologize to everybody.
The family say the man told them that one of his family members died near the crash scene, and seeing the crosses reminded him of that. The Nicholas County attorney and the sheriff will talk to the families about the case tomorrow, but they do not expect any charges at this time.
Well, it has been a much cooler than normal day across the Bluegrass, so will we see warmer temperatures for our Friday? Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Amber, you know, we started out today with a whole lot of cloud cover. The chilly temperatures you mentioned, some of the cooler readings we've had in late May and a long time around here. But I mentioned earlier today that I thought we'd see a little sunshine before the sun called it quits. Look at our sky cam, and boom, right on cue. Albeit better late than ever. We got it on a gorgeous little sunset from our live sky cam earlier in the day. Now we're seeing the clearing skies settling in to the region, thus our temperatures are bottoming out. Already into the mid and upper 40s right now. 45, the chilly temperature reading into Mount Sterling. 48, Lexington and Richmond. Hello, Danville, and good evening at 46. Still 50 or a little better, southeastern Kentucky. You're a little warmer because you're still holding on to some clouds. Remember, clouds at night act as a bit of a blanket, but now with stars shining brightly across central and eastern Kentucky, those thermometers will continue to drop, and first thing tomorrow morning, those readings will be close to 40 degrees through the rest of your afternoon. If you're traveling tomorrow afternoon, a lot of folks will be in a getaway day before the big holiday weekend. Low 70s, plenty of sunshine. What about the rest of that holiday weekend forecast, guys? One thing for sure, temperatures are going to take off. We'll let you know if any storms crash our cookouts in just a minute.
All right, Chris, thank you. New tonight, a Baltimore grand jury has indicted the 6 police officers charged in connection to the death of Freddie Gray. Earlier this month, prosecutors filed charges against the officers ranging from second-degree murder to second-degree assault. The indictment includes similar charges and adds reckless endangerment. Gray died a week after his arrest last month. Investigators say he suffered a severe spinal injury that sparked protests in Baltimore that were violent at times. The officers will be arraigned July 2nd.
A Pulaski County man who admitted killing his girlfriend will spend 25 years in prison. Today, a judge sentenced Johny Hendricks for murder and evidence tampering. Hendricks beat Monica Wells to death last year. Police say he then left her body in a sinkhole. Police say that Wells' 8-year-old son saw some of what happened. Wells' mother said Hendricks deserved a longer sentence.
He had no sense, no morals. They're the sorriest bunch of people ever was.
Wells' family says Hendricks beat her many times before her death, and they asked her to leave him. Prosecutors say that if the case had gone to trial and Hendricks was convicted, he at most would have received a life sentence with a chance of parole after 20 years.
Tonight, we have learned the Kentucky Education Commissioner has warned that Fayette County schools could face state actions if low-achieving schools do not improve. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report Terry Holliday sent the warning letter last week. Holliday cites significant achievement gaps in reading and math between minority, disabled, and poor students and other students. And he mentioned a recent state diagnostic review that cited a lack of district support for Bryan Station High School, which the state designates as persistently low achieving. Well, people on the north side of Lexington have seen plenty of construction in recent years. First, crews widened Leestown Road.
And now it looks like a new shopping center could be in the works. It would be built on Leestown Road, not far from Masterson Station. New at 11 tonight, Garrett Weimer has reaction from people living nearby.
A lot is changing on Leestown Road. All the road work, including the extension of Citation Boulevard, could bring with it even more development to the northwest end of Lexington. Recently amended plans for Citation Village Shopping Center, filed with Lexington's Division of Planning, show a plan for a gas station, bank, restaurants, and shops, including a large grocery store on this empty plot at the under construction corner of Leestown and Citation. Scott Davidson, the vice president of Langley Properties, which owns this development, tells me he hopes it will be a community amenity for the folks who live nearby. Many neighbors say they look forward to the convenience the shopping center could bring.
You know, I think development's fine. I think we need something a little bit closer to us. A lot of times that we're going out of town rather than in town, it would be nice to have something like that close.
Some, like Ward, say they're concerned about traffic, but they hope that'll be better once the work on Leestown is finished.
As long as they do the traffic lights, have the flow of traffic moving at a steady pace to where, traffic doesn't back up and people don't get angry about that.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Scott Davidson with Langley Properties says that right now they're talking to several different retailers about the large anchor store in that shopping center to be built. He says it's too early in the process to say which stores.
It is supposed to be a place for beauty, but vandals have left some ugly damage on a central Kentucky landmark. It's coming up in 9 minutes.
And later, people living in an eastern Kentucky neighborhood are on alert tonight after some recent bear sightings.